everybody, welcome back to the 2018 Crochet Along, where we bring you one granny square a day for 365 days. Today is day number 79. Here comes spring. And this is what we'll be working today. Forgive me, I have not sewn in my ends. I just hurried up and made a swatch. You can see we're going to be working two of our corners with a different color. And then we're going to be attaching, and those are our leaves, and we'll be attaching that as we go along. And there's really no sewing in this other than your ends. So this is what it looks like. So we're going to start with making this piece, and then we're going to work into the back loops from round 2. We're going to be working in the back loops of those to form our petals, and then from there we will be working on the back side of the flower to form our square. So that's what we have, and let's get started. So grab your yarn, grab your hook, whichever size you've been using to obtain whatever size it is you're doing. You're going to chain 4 join into the first stitch to form a ring, or do a magic ring, and then you will chain 2. This will count as your first half double crochet. And then we're going to work 11 more half double crochets into our ring. So then at the end you have a total of 12, because that chain 2 does count as a half double crochet. You will then slip stitch with a slip stitch into your second chain of your beginning chain 2. And when I have 12 half double crochet, I'll get back with you and we will begin round number 2. Okay, so I have 12 half double crochet. Now you're going to chain 3 or do a chainless double crochet. And then you're going to work 1 front loop double crochet into the next 11 stitches. So work into your front loop and perform a double crochet. As you see here, we have the V-stitch, you have your back loop, and then you have your front loop. We're working into the front loops because when we get to start our petals, we're leaving these back loops so we can work into them to build our petals and to build our square. Okay, so go ahead and work a front loop double crochet into the next one, and then again another front loop double crochet into the next one. Repeat this all the way around till you have 12 front loop double crochets. Okay, so from working in your front loops, you see that we've kind of made a bowl, sort of. Okay, so you should have slip stitched into your third chain of your beginning chain 3, or if you did the chainless, into your chainless. Now you're going to chain 2. Then you're going to slip stitch into the back loop of your next stitch. Not the front, but the back. Chain 2. You see we have our front loop here. Goodness, there we go. Our front loop here, and then our back loop here. We're working into that with slip stitches. So slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 2. Slip stitch into the back loop of the next stitch, and chain 2. And again, slip stitch into the back loop of the next stitch, and chain 2. Repeat this all the way around. Join with a slip stitch into your beginning slip stitch and cut your yarn. We will be beginning with a new color for the petals. Okay, so round 4 with your new color. Go ahead, prepare like you're getting ready to chain, and you're going to begin into the back of your work, and you're going to find a back loop. It doesn't matter where you start, just find a back loop and start in it, and you're going to work a single crochet into it. Make sure my stitches aren't twisted up here, and we will begin. There we go. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through your 2 stitches to form a single crochet. In the same back loop stitch, you're going to work a half double crochet as well. And then you're going to perform a double crochet into the same stitch. And then a half double crochet into the same stitch. And then a single crochet, all into the same stitch. Now you're going to slip stitch into the next back loop stitch. I know my tails are in the way here. So find the next one, which just so happens to be right here for me. Perform a slip stitch, chain 1, slip stitch into the same space. You're going to later be working into these chain 1 spaces. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's not chain 1. It's chain 2. There we go. Okay. Slip stitch into the same stitch. Now, slip stitch into your next stitch. I'm sorry. Perform a single crochet into the next stitch. And then a half double crochet into the same stitch. Then a double crochet into the same stitch. And then a half double crochet into the same stitch, and then a single crochet into the same stitch. Work into the next stitch, slip stitch, chain 2, slip stitch into it again. Work a single crochet into the next back loop, and then a half, and then a double, all in the same stitch, and then a half, and then a single. Slip stitch in the next back loop stitch, chain 2, slip stitch into it again. Okay, repeat this sequence all the way around till you have 6 petals. The petals are the ones where we single crochet, half, double, half, single crochet. Those are our petals. You need to make sure that you have 6 of those and that you have 6 chain 1 spaces. When I have completed this, I will get back with you and we will begin on round 5. Okay, so do not slip stitch to end. That's why I didn't tell you to at the end of the round here. Now you're going to, after your last slip stitch and after your chain 2 into the last back loop only, you're going to work straight on over to your first petal. You're going to slip stitch into the single crochet that you made, your first single crochet. And then you're going to work a single crochet into the next stitch, which should be your half double crochet. And then in the next stitch, which is your double crochet, you're going to work a half double, a double, and a half double crochet, all in that double crochet. So half, double, half, all in that double crochet stitch. Now you're going to work a single crochet into the next, and then slip stitch into the next. Now you're going to chain 2, and you're going to skip over your chain 2 from back here, and you're going to work a slip stitch into your first single crochet of the next petal. Work a single crochet into the next stitch, and work into the next stitch, which should be your double crochet, a half double, a double, and another half double. And then a single crochet into your next, slip stitch into the next, chain 2. Skip over your chain space and work into the next petal, slip stitch into the single crochet, single crochet into the next, half double crochet into the next, double crochet into the same stitch, and half double crochet into the same stitch. And then work a single crochet into the next stitch, slip stitch to the next, chain 2. Repeat this sequence on the last 3 petals, and when I have completed that, we will begin with round 6. You will slip stitch into your beginning slip stitch and cut your yarn, because now we're going to change colors to build our square. So grab your next 2 colors, get them ready, and we're going to build the actual square to the flower. Okay, so flip your flower upside down, and you see where we have our chain 2 spaces between our flower. Not those, but the next one down, the chain 2s that we made in the previous round before making our flowers, or the edging of our flowers. That's the space we're going to work on from here on out, in those, not the top one, but this one down here. Okay, so first you're going to insert your hook, and you're going to perform a slip stitch. Actually, I'm going to work further back here because I'd like to grab my ends as I work this one. And all you got to do is just pop it back there and you'll find the chain space. So insert your hook into the chain space. There we go. And then perform a slip stitch. And then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Find the next one in between here, not the chain 2 that we just made, but the one previous. So flip it back there, stretch, pull your work apart if you have to find it, and perform another slip stitch. Chain 3. Again, into the next one, find it, pop it out, perform a slip stitch, chain 3, and again, repeat this all the way around, join with a slip stitch into your beginning slip stitch, and I will get back with you for round number 7. Okay, still working in the back of your square with your square upside down. You're now going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space. And you're going to chain 1. This does not count as a stitch. And you're now going to work 4 single crochet into the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Over to the next chain space, and you're going to work 4 single crochet into the chain 3 space. 2, 3, and 4, and into the next chain space, 4 single crochet. Repeat this all the way around. By the end, be sure to count. You have 24 single crochet. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, when you have 24 single crochet, join with a slip stitch into your beginning single crochet. And I will get back with you when I finish this for round number 8. As you see, I've kept all my stuff bunched up so I can see my stitches better. And that might actually help better for you as well. Okay, so round number 8. Chain 1, oops, and single crochet into the same stitch. Half double crochet into the next stitch. 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now in the next stitch, you're going to make your first corner, 2 double crochet into that next stitch, and then chain 3. 2 more double crochet into that same stitch. 1 and 2. Now you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next, 1 single into the next, 1 half double into the next, 1 double crochet into the next. But don't complete your double crochet here, because now you're going to change to your leaf color. So go ahead and grab your leaf color now. So without completing your double crochet, now you're going to form a slip knot, and you're going to pull it through these 2 stitches. The reason why I performed the slip knot first is because this way later on it doesn't come out. Okay, so now we're going to perform our first corner into the next stitch. So 2 double crochet, there's 1, and give that a leaf color a little tug to kind of get it underneath the stitches there, and then work around your next 2 stitches, because you're going to carry your square color over, because after we work this corner we're going to switch back. Okay, so 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet in the same stitch, chain 3, and then 2 more double crochets into the same stitch. 1. Now as you work your second double crochet, do not complete it, just pull through 2, and then grab your blue or whatever your main square color is, and pull it through to complete the double crochet. Now you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next, and keep your green working behind. Just keep working over it, because you're going to need it into the next corner as well. Okay, so we did 1 double crochet. Now we need 1 half double into the next stitch, a single into the next, a half double into the next, a double crochet into the next, and then work your corner, 2 double crochet, chain 3, and 2 more double crochet into the same stitch. One and 2. Okay. Now we're going to work into the next stitch, 1 double crochet, still carrying that green around, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 half double in the next, 1 double into the next, but do not complete off your double. Now you're going to grab your leaf color and you're going to pull it through the 2 stitches there. Okay, now you're going to work into the next stitch, 2 double crochet with your green leaf color, 1, 2, chain 3, and 2 more. But do not complete your second double crochet because now you need your blue back or whatever your main color is. Okay, now work around your green. You're going to put 1 double crochet in the next stitch and 1 half double into the next stitch. Okay, join with a slip stitch into your beginning single crochet, and you can either keep carrying it around with you as you go because you're going to need it right here, or you can go ahead and drop it off here and rejoin later. I'm going to keep working mine in as I go. Round number 9, chain 3 counts as a double crochet, or you can do a chainless double. Now you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 4 stitches. Oops. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Work your corner, 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2 more double crochet into the chain space, 2. Okay, now you're going to, work 1 double crochet into the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, take your green, bring it to the front, your leaf color, whatever color it is you chose, bring it to the front and leave it there, because on the next round we are going to use the green to, sorry, my yarn's tangled up here, so I'm untangling it. We're going to use that green on the next round. We'll be working into the front loop of the next round with our green. So we're just going to drop it off there, let it hang there. Unless you already cut your yarn, then you don't have to worry about it. You'll just join right there. So now we're going to work 1 double crochet into the back loop only of the next 7 leaf stitches, even the chains. So go ahead into the back loop, work a double crochet with your main color, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now working into the rest of the stitches here, you're going to work through all the loops, work your corner, 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet, work this side all the way up till the green, and then you'll work in the back loop only of the green, 7 of them, finish off with 2 more double crochets, and then join with the slip stitch. When I've completed round 9, I will get back with you for round number 10. Okay, so when finishing off for round number 9, join with your slip stitch and pull up a loop or place a stitch marker so you don't lose your space, because in round 11 we're going to begin right back here. So remember where I had you leave your green in the front if you carried it around with you like I did? This is where we're going to begin. And we're going to begin in the front loop. You can see we've left behind all the front loops here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to be working into those. In the first one, we are going to perform a slip stitch and then a chain 3. So all you're going to do is insert your hook, grab your yarn, and pull it up. And then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to skip 1 front loop stitch right here. We're skipping this front loop. And we're going to work into the next one, a treble 2 together, but we're not going to complete it out. So skip over the 1, insert your hook into the next front loop. Make sure I got that. Right, 1, 2, yep, okay, sorry. That was the one we slipped into, okay. Insert your hook. Go ahead, perform your treble crochet, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, but do not pull through the last 2. Wrap your yarn twice. You're going to skip the next front loop stitch and you're going to work into the next one. Mine just so happens to be very tightly pulled. So there we go, I found it. Okay, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now you have 3 stitches. Pull through all 3 stitches. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the 4th chain away from the hook, causing a picot. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to skip the next stitch, not the one you just worked in, but the next one, and you're going to perform a slip stitch into the last front loop and cut your yarn. And this is what it looks like. And I'll fix my front loop there in a few minutes. Okay, and now we're going to begin on the other side. So go into your front loop, your first front loop, perform a slip stitch. I like to perform a slip knot first before doing so, just in case it does try to get loose. Perform your slip stitch and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Wrap your yarn twice, skip 1 front loop stitch, work into the next one, a treble crochet, but do not complete your treble. Leave the last 2 on your hook. Wrap your yarn twice again, skip the next stitch, work into the next, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, now you have 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Join with a slip stitch into the 4th chain from your hook to cause a picot. Chain 3. Skip the next front loop stitch and join with a slip stitch into the last front loop stitch. And then cut your yarn. And that will be your second petal. Okay. And this is what it looks like so far. Of course, you might want to flatten out your petals to really see what it looks like. I'm not going to yet, because when I block it, it'll look really nice when I do it then. So you can see your petals are standing out over the actual square so far. So now we're going to begin round 10, or I'm sorry, round 11 in the piece that we left off. Okay, so let me explain something before we begin round 11. And this is what makes the square a little wonky, and it was very unusual to make it originally. In the leaf corners, I've placed stitch markers into the 4th double crochet of the 7 back loops that we did. To find that, just see where you last worked off with a double crochet in the blue or whatever color you chose, and then count to the 4th stitch that you worked into the back loop only, and go ahead and place your stitch marker there. Now when we're going to be working this, and you're going to do it on both sides of your leaf, when you're working this, we're going to work all the way to our chain corner here, and we're going to finish off right here, and then we're going to work our corner, and we're not going to chain one, and we're going to work into that stitch, okay, until we get over here to this side, where we actually work into the last stitch, chain one, and then perform our corner, skip a stitch, and work into the next. And so these 2 corners will be the same, but they're not going to be the same as these 2 corners, but these 2 corners will match. These 2 corners will match, and these 2 corners will match. Okay, but all 4 will not. But when we're done, it should start to work itself out. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. You're going to chain 3, which will count as a half double crochet and a chain 1. 1, 2, 3. You're going to skip 1 stitch and work a half double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, work a half double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, work a half, skip 1, work a half double crochet into the next stitch. So now work in your corner 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet. Maybe. I cannot get it to work. Okay, there we go. Just gotta grip my square really nice there. There we go. Okay. Now we are not going to chain 1 and skip a stitch here. We're just going to work a half double crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1. I performed a double crochet that time, y'all. Look at me. I think the scratching of my stitch marker is bothering me. There we go. Okay. So we chained 1. Now we're going to work a half double, skip 1, half double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1. Skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1. Skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1. Skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, and here where if you placed your stitch marker is where we're going to be working into, and we're going to work 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet into that stitch. So go ahead, pull your stitch marker out. There's 1, 2, chain 2, 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. 1 and 2. Okay. Now we chain 1, skip the next stitch, work a half double crochet into the next stitch. Yep, skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, half in the next. Chain 1, skip into the next. Chain 1, skip, half double crochet into the next. And now we're at our corner, so we'll work 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 half double crochets all in our corner here. Okay, now we're not going to chain 1 here. We're going to work a half double crochet into the next stitch. Now we chain 1, skip 1, work into the next, chain 1, skip, 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 work into the next. And now we're at our corner where we have a stitch here, so we chain 1, we skip that, and then we work our corner into this 1 stitch. So 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more half double crochets into the same stitch. Chain 1, skip 1. Work 1 into the next. Chain 1, skip, work into the next, chain 1, skip, and join with a slip stitch into your second chain of your chain 3. And this is what it looks like here. And that kind of evens it out a little bit. Not so wonky. But as we work, it may start to pull in this way and look more like a rhombus. But we will get that stretched out here. All right, round 12. So chain 4, that's a double crochet plus a chain 1, or you can do a chainless double and then chain 1, excuse me. Now you're going to work a double crochet into the next half double. Oops. There we go. Okay. Chain 1. Work a double crochet into the next stitch, half double stitch, chain 1, skipping over your chain 1 spaces, work into your next stitch, chain 1, and now you're going to skip over the next, work into your next stitch, and now you're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet. Double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip over your space here, and double crochet into your half double crochet stitch from the previous round, chain 1, again, double crochet into the half double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, and repeating this all the way to our corner, chaining 1, skipping chain 1 space and double crocheting into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, and you're going to skip the next stitch, and now we're at our chain space here. So now you're going to work a 2 double crochet into it. Then you're going to chain 1, and you're going to grab your leaf, and you're going to work a half double crochet into your picot here. So just spread the chain 4 a little bit and work a half double crochet into it. Chain 1. Move your leaf over to the side here and work 2 more double crochets into your corner chain 2 space here. Okay. And see, it kind of pulls it down, but when we finish off with our last round, it should even that out fairly well. Okay. Now you're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, and work a double crochet into your next stitch. Chain 1, skip your chain 1 space, work a double crochet into your next stitch. Okay. You're going to repeat the sequence that we just did, so you might want to rewind it so you can start back at your corner here, and you're going to work all the way across. This corner is going to look like this corner, and this corner is going to look like this corner right here. Okay, so follow along, make sure you're putting in your stitches properly so then your square doesn't start to go like a rhombus. Okay, when I've completed this, I will get right back with you. Okay, so I've finished out the round here. I'm getting ready to join with a slip stitch. And as you can see, when you hold your square up, it kind of is leaning like a rhombus. You can see these corners are a little bit shorter, but that's due to the taut pull of your leaves. When we work this last round, which is going to be single crochets, you should definitely give this square a good blocking. Definitely over exaggerating on the pulling of the leaf corners, just so then they match up with the normal corners here. And as you can see here, I just gave it a nice little tug and it already has straightened itself out fairly well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start round 13. Chain 1, single crochet into the same stitch, and then you're going to single crochet into the chain 1, single crochet in the stitch, and then the chain 1. Repeat this all the way across here. And then when you get to your corner, you're going to work 3 single crochets into it. 1, 2, 3. And just continue all the way around, putting a single crochet in each stitch and in each chain 1 space. As you approach your corner here, where your leaf is, you're going to work 1 single crochet in the 2 stitches there, and then you're going to place 1 single crochet in the chain 1, and then 1 single crochet into the half double crochet that we worked into the picot stitch of the leaf, and then 1 single crochet into the chain 1 space on the other side of it, and then continue on 1 single crochet in each stitch, 1 single crochet in each chain 1 space, all the way around, and putting 3 single crochets into your corner space. You'll repeat what we just did here on this corner at the opposite end. You'll finish off with a slip stitch into your beginning single crochet, and that will be it. Definitely tie in your yarns on this one. This is definitely going to be one of those that needs to be blocked, so definitely give it a good blocking. If you feel like it's still too angular for you, definitely go and add another extra row. Make up for it doing that by simply doing in the corners. Like mine's already starting to straighten out just right. So you know, a good blocking honestly would do really good with this. I wouldn't even have to go back in, but you can, you know, by simply adding another round of maybe single crochets, and then in the leaf corners doing half double crochets just to make it even if you cannot get it to work right for you. But again, like I said, if blocking definitely would be the way to go for this square. So yeah, if you guys like my video, give it a thumbs up. Yay. Okay. If you're not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and we will try our best to get back with you as soon as possible. If you're not yet in our crochet along and you would like to join our crochet along, the link is in the description down below. And yeah, this is day number 79, and it is called Here Comes Spring. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, everybody.